Dear students, let us start with the third unit of the comparative anatomy of the vertebrates, and today our topic is evolution of heart in vertebrates. Myself Sarshad Hussain from Government Degree College, Surankot. Now, let us have some introduction. I would like to take you through an introduction that what the heart is. Though our topic is evolution of heart, so you must know what the heart is. You know that there is a system in your body which is called circulatory system, which transport and circulate whatever the food you have taken inside your body, the gases that you have taken inside your body, the hormones that are produced in your body to the different parts of your body, and then take the waste material from those part of the body, that means cells, and take it to the point where they are expelled out throughout the body. This is called the circulatory system, and there are two types of circulatory system in the chordates, in the animals, that is, one is open circulatory system and other is closed circulatory system. And you must remember that heart is the major part of both of these systems. Basically, the circulation of the blood to transport various material within the body is maintained by a special type of pump, which is the heart. In the open circulatory system, you can see that heart is pumping the blood, and the blood is coming through arteries, and then the blood is coming in direct contact with the tissues of the cells, with the cells of the tissues of the body. So, this is the open. In contrast to it, when you look at the closed, the blood after coming from the main artery is going into the many small branches called the blood capillaries and the blood vessels, which at first instance the main artery gives so many branches, then so many branches rejoin to form again a one major type of the blood vessel, which is called the vein. So, blood is not anywhere coming out from the blood vessel. So, here the exchange of gases or material takes place by diffusion, but here the blood was directly touching or coming or bathing the cells of the body. Here blood is not coming directly in contact with this. This is the closed circulatory system, and you must remember that in the vertebrates it is the closed circulatory system. Although the circulatory system is of two types, the lymphatic system and the vascular system. Just an introduction for you, because the term lymphatic system is there, you must understand what the lymphatic system is. Lymphatic system is a subsystem of circulatory system. You can see here, this is the circulatory system in which heart is there, then all the blood vessels coming out from the heart and distributing themselves into different parts of the body are there. At the opposite end, in this diagram, you see this is the lymph system. So, it is again this a circulatory system, but it is not the major circulatory system. So, it is called the subsystem of the circulatory system. Heart has no role to play over there in the lymphatic system. Heart is the major part of the blood circulatory system. The lymphatic system is formed of so many vessels, you can see, tissues and organs. Basically, what is the function of lymphatic system? Lymphatic system maintain a balance between the tissue of between the fluid of the tissue and the fluid inside the blood vessels. If you look at this, it is present in such a fashion that the red one and the blue one, this is the blood circulatory system, the green one is the lymphatic system. So, lymphatic system is having close association with the various blood capillaries. So, what is happening over there? On the other hand, it is joining the tissues of of the organs or the cells of the tissues and the organs and the organ system of the body. So, here it is the lymphatic system, which it feels that there is a excess of tissue present in the excess of tissue fluid present in the tissues of the body. It takes away the fluid and then supply it to the blood, so that the tissue may not have the enough fluid, so the cells may not burst away. As far as the blood circulation circulatory system is concerned, it is made up of a major thing, which is the heart, which is the topic that you have to study today. And this heart supplies the blood through the arteries to the peripheral tissues, means that to the tissues or the organs of the different body parts, and then collect from them the blood and then enter the blood back into the heart for pumping it again. So, now this heart, that is our topic today, is present in a cavity. It is having a covering around it, which is called the pericardium. The pericardium is having a cavity present inside it, in which the heart is present. So, the heart is present in a pericardial cavity. This pericardium or the heart as a whole, along with the pericardial cavity, is separated from rest of the coelom with the help of a septum, though the septum is perforated by a pair of opening, so that the coelomic cavity may remain in communication with the pericardial cavity. Now, let us look at the evolution of the heart in vertebrates. In vertebrates, heart is a sac-like muscular organ comprising of series of chambers. Like you can see, the chambers are sinus venosus, atrium, ventricle, conus arteriosus. Typically, ancestral vertebrate heart has 4 chambers, as I have already told you over there. Among them, atrium and the ventricle are the 2 chamber, whereas sinus venosus and the conus arteriosus are the accessory chambers. Sinus venosus is the first chamber of the heart of the fishes, amphibian, reptiles. It empties into the atrium. Atrium is so named as its meaning in Latin word is entry hall, because here the blood enters into the heart, because main chamber are the atrium and the ventricle, and atrium or ventricle present in all the vertebrates, whereas sinus venosus and the conus arteriosus are present only in case of the fishes, amphibians and the reptiles. So, main heart is basically this thing. So, the first chamber which is receiving the heart, true chamber rather, is called the atrium. Then you have the ventricle. Ventricle takes the blood from atrium and then pump the blood to the different parts, either through conus arteriosus in those animals where it is present, or through the direct blood arteries which will be coming out from the ventricle. That we shall see in the next slides, that what I am talking about. Then you have the 4th chamber, the accessory chamber second, conus or truncus arteriosus, is again a muscular upper part of the heart, supplies the blood to the correct blood arteries. Now, correct blood arteries means sometimes this blood is to be supplied to the lungs and the gills for the respiration, for taking the oxygen inside them, and then it is to be supplied to the rest part of the body. So, correct supply to the correct vessel is required, and that is what the correct arteries mean. Now, this was a generalized picture that what is the type of the heart in vertebrates and what can be the 4 chambers. Then what is the modification? What is the evolution of the heart? Now, it has the modification along the following lines, that is cardiac tube forms chamber due to constriction. Basically, this heart is again a blood vessel, you can say, which is slightly enlarged and highly muscular. So, because the heart is having so many chambers, so you can say that when we will move from lower vertebrates to higher vertebrates, you will see that the tube is constricting at various points and forming various chambers. Again I will take you back, like if this was a blood vessel and it has enlarged and then it is constricted over there to form this chamber, then again enlarged and constricted over there to form another chamber. So this what I mean to say in the first line, that is cardiac tube forms chamber due to constrictions. Each chamber tends to divide into two separate chambers due to formation of partition. Now till now we have said that only one atrium and one ventricle. Later on you will find that they will divide to form the two separate chamber also, right and left. Heart gradually shift and then there is a shift in the position, that is from behind the head, fishes, amphibians, near to the gill thoracic cavity. So because earlier it was present very much, heart is always present very much near to the respiratory surfaces. So earlier in the fishes it was very much close to the gills, but later on because the lungs are present in the thoracic cavity of the vertebrates, so the heart also has shifted to the thoracic cavity in the amniotes. So this shift is because of the elongation of the neck. Earlier the neck in the fishes, neck was not present over there, so gills was present in the pharyngeal wall and near to it was the heart. But when the neck has separated the pharynx and then the thoracic cavity to a greater extent and developed the lungs within the thoracic cavity, so the lungs they themselves have shifted to the the heart too has shifted close to the lungs. Then we shall see in what is the double circulation and single circulation. So you will see that in earlier vertebrates it was a single circulation and in the later vertebrates it was a double circulation. Then we shall also see on one hand the main two chambers, the true chambers, the ventricle and the atrium are dividing them into two, but on the other hand the conus arteriosus and sinus venosus accessory chambers are fusing themselves, and you will not find these chambers in birds and the mammals at the higher level. Let us start first with the two chambered heart, the single circuit venous heart. This was the basic or the you can say the primitive type of the heart which was present in the lower vertebrates in the fishes. So it is simplest and it is present in cyclostomes where it has four chamber, that means the sinus venosus, the atrium, the ventricle, and then there is conus arteriosus. In case of the cartilaginous fishes, elasmobranchs, the two chambers are present over there. These two are the true chambers, and the conus arteriosus and sinus venosus are the accessory chambers. In case of the bony fishes, heart resembles in all respect with the elasmobranchs, that means you can see the two accessory chambers and the two main chambers. Whereas in case of the chondrostii like Polypterus, holoostii like Lepidosteus, conus is fairly long with numerous valves. So slight modifications in these fishes, that this part, the bulbous arteriosus or the conus arteriosus is one and same thing. It is fairly large enough in these two fishes, having so many valves. You know, whenever there is a tube like system, like you have the pipeline water supply in your home, similarly in your body you are having the circulatory system running in a tube like structure called the blood vessels. So always you have some valve so that you can control some time that the blood supply may not continue, it may remain some time there and then it may be permitted. As you control the supply of the water in your daily routine, that whenever you want to open, then you open the valve. So similarly, so many valves may be present that we shall study later on. For this point, we shall consider that these two fishes, they have this conus part very enlarged and the numerous valves may be present inside them. In Amnia, conus and its valves are reduced. So this is how that you are looking at how the heart is evolving. Heart is changing from one type to other. when we are moving from the lower vertebrate to the higher vertebrates. In the bony fishes, conus is much reduced, because ultimately these two accessory chamber have to merge themselves with the main chamber and they will disappear. So, how they are proceeding towards the merging? In addition to because it fuses with the ventricle and retain a single pair of valves. So, it will not have the so many pair of the valve as we have seen in the Polypterus and Lepidosteius. Now, a part of the ventral aorta in contact with conus becomes greatly enlarged with thick muscular valve called the bulbus arteriosus. The conus arteriosus is called bulbus arteriosus when its wall is greatly thickened as shown over there. This bulbus arteriosus inflates like a balloon when ventricle contracts. So, see, this is the ventricle. When it will contract to push the blood, it will inflate with the help of these two muscles. Now, in these fishes where two main chambers were there and the two accessory chambers were there, let us look how the blood will circulate. So, they have the single circulation. Now, try to understand what is the single circulation. And the heart type is called the venous heart. We shall study why it is so. And you will note that only oxygenated blood is directly supplied to body, not through the heart. Let us look at the blood circulation. You will understand all of them. Say for example, this is the body tissue. Blood is coming from the body tissue to the heart. So, this is the heart having so many chambers. Okay. So, it is receiving the venous blood, because blood returns from the body with the help of the veins and it is supplied to the body with the help of the artery. So, arteries and the veins, they have the two major difference, that the arteries bring the blood to the heart, veins bring the blood to the heart and the arteries supply the blood to the body parts. So, because the blood is coming from the body tissue, so it will be deoxygenated blood, where a whole of the oxygen is consumed in the body tissue, and after having less amount of oxygen or no amount of oxygen, that is deoxygenated condition, and the more amount of carbon dioxide, it is coming to the heart. Because heart is receiving only one type of the blood supply, that is through the vein. So, the heart is called the venous heart. Moreover, once the blood is entering into the heart, after passing the heart, it is directly going to the gills, where the oxygen will be taken by the blood and the carbon dioxide will be released back through the gills into the water, and then after taking oxygen, blood will directly go into the body tissue. It will not come back again to the heart and then will be pumped out. So, only single circulation is there. There are no two connections between the body, the gills, the respiratory surfaces and the heart. So, that is why it is called the single circulation. Now, you look at that, note oxygenated blood is directly supplied to the body. Once it is oxygenated, so it is directly supplied to the body. This is one of the major difference in the single circulation and the double circulation. Again, this is showing the same that I have already explained to you. Then, during the course of evolution, from the two main chamber heart, there was a evolution of three chambered heart, and three chambered heart is called the transitional heart. Why it is called transitional heart? Because ultimately it is the four chambered heart in the higher vertebrates. So, it is a transition from two chambered to the four chambered. Now, here the heart is arteriovenous. So, let us see what it is. In case of the Dipnoi, arterium is divided by an incomplete arterioventricular septum into two chambers, right auricle and the left auricle. Though it is incomplete because it is having a hole present inside it, it is perforated with the help of a hole or the opening called the foramen ovale. The oxygenated blood from the swim bladder, instead of supplying directly to the body, now look at this sentence. Now, it is shifting itself from single circulation to double circulation, is received by left auricle. So, you can see here the oxygenated blood is received through pulmonary veins into left auricle, whereas the deoxygenated from the body is received in the right auricular part. So, there is a separation now. Okay. So, it is said that the deoxygenated blood from the body is received through right auricle. So, what a major difference is there, that in the earlier case we have seen that once it was oxygenated in the gills, it was supplied to the body, but no, over here after oxygenation it is again coming inside the heart. So, that is the difference between single and the double. We shall look it in the next slide also. Now, due to partial partition, because there is a perforation, there is a mixing of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. So, it is not so efficient system, because ultimately there is a mixing also. In addition to it, you can see that the right ventricle and the left ventricle, they are also partially separated. The wall is not present along whole of the length. So, again there is a mixing of the blood. So, it means heart is evolving itself to a 4-chambered heart, where all these parts will be totally separated, but during the course of evolution this is a transitional stage where neither there is a complete partition nor there is a absence of partition. In case of amphibians, in anuran, interauricular septum is complete without foramen ovale. So, you can see amphibian, another advancement has reached over there, that is the atrium is completely partitioned by interauricular septum, no perforation is there. In addition to it, no, this keeps the oxygenated blood received through pulmonary veins and the deoxygenated blood received from the body totally separated in the auricles. Now, in the ventricles, basically if you look at in the ventricle also, though ventricle is not divided by a septum, but the thick wall, muscular wall of the this ventricle sends some branches inside in the form of the tuberculi. So, once the tuberculi will be present over there, again the blood coming from the left auricle and the right auricle, when it will enter into the ventricle, will not be mixed up as a whole. So, some sort of separation is again present over there. From the ventricles, from this part, the blood enters into the conus or the truncus arteriosus, whose lumen is again divided with the help of a spiral valve. So, this spiral valve is further taking care of the separation of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, so that it may not mix up over there. Now, this conus arteriosus then direct the deoxygenated blood into pulmonary arteries and oxygenated blood into systemic arteries. So, what will happen? The oxygenated blood after from left auricle to the ventricle, then to the conus arteriosus or the truncus arteriosus will be supplied to the body. So, it will be supplied to the body with the help of the arteries, which is called the systemic arteries, and for oxygenation the deoxygenated blood from the right auricle to the ventricle and then through the conus arteriosus or truncus arteriosus will be supplied for the oxygenation to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. So, you must consider further two terms, you must understand further two terms. One is the systemic arteries or the systemic system, other is pulmonary system. Pulmonary system is the system of the blood vessels between the heart and the respiratory organs, that is the lungs, and the systemic arteries means the system of the blood vessels between the heart and the body parts. So, here the distinguishing in the blood vessels has also taken place over there. This spiral valve, this is attached to the wall of the conus at the dorsal position and free at other three ends, thereby separating this conus truncus chamber into two chambers, the cavum pulmocutaneum and cavum aorticum. So, here is again if you look at, though you will not be able to find a well defined septum in the ventricle and in the conus arteriosus, but here the tuberculi from the wall are separating the two blood, keeping the two types of blood, that is, one is the oxygenated, other is deoxygenated in the ventricle separate, and in the truncus arteriosus spiral valve is taking care of it, that it is not allowing the blood to mix, though it is not 100% separation, some mixing is again present over there, because true partition is again absent in them. In urodeles, conus is reduced and replaced by bulbous arteriosus. So, over there you can see it is replaced by the bulbous arteriosus. In the reptiles, again they are having the 3-chambered heart. It shows further improvement by becoming more strongly muscular. Only the change that has taken place over there is that the ventricle has become more muscular. It shows 2 auricle and 2 ventricles, because there is a incomplete partition present in the ventricle also, but the auricles are completely separated. So, you are having the 2 auricles and the 2 ventricles, but the ventricle, because it is partitioned by the incomplete partition. So, there is a mixing of the blood present over there, but the mixing is reduced because some wall is present over there also. Sinus venosus is present over there, again you can see over there the sinus venosus, and the conus and the ventral aorta of embryo become split in the adult into 3 distinct trunks. No, there is no conus arteriosus present over there, rather 3 different types of the blood vessels are present over there. One is the pulmonary, other is the aortic trunk, and then you may see the pulmonary and the right and left systemic arteries. This one is again a systemic artery, and this one is again a systemic artery. This is right, this is left, and this is the pulmonary artery, which is going to the blood, which is taking the blood to the lungs. Now, in crocodiles, because crocodiles among the reptiles is always having some separate features which are resembling more with the birds and mammals, because in the birds and the mammals you are having 4-chambered heart, and the crocodile also, there is one exception in the reptile, that is the crocodile, which is having the completely 4-chambered. You can see the partition is complete, the 2 auricles and the 2 ventricles are present over there. Though this complete partition is there, so that does not mean that the crocodiles are having completely separation of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. You must remember that the dotted one is the oxygenated blood and the blank one is the deoxygenated blood. There is not complete separation even then. Why? We shall look into it. Basically what happens, there is a very unusual type of valve present over there. Sometime when this valve giving the deoxygenated blood to the pulmonary trunk and then to the lungs is closed, then there is an increase in the pressure of the blood in the ventricle, and from the ventricle the blood start going into the right systemic artery. So, otherwise it has to go from there to further aspiration, but it go into the systemic artery. Now, what happens, on the other hand, the oxygenated blood is already going through the left systemic artery to the body. So, what happens basically, there is a fusion of the left and the right systemic artery through a foramen opening called the foramen of Pineza. So, what happens, when this valve is closed from here, the blood goes into it. As a result, this was taking the oxygenated blood into it, but since the deoxygenated blood has also traveling through it, that is the left systemic artery, with the help of this opening the foramen of Pineza, some mixing takes place over there. So, though the crocodiles among the reptile are having 4-chambered heart, but still the whole of the separation of the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood is not present over there. Some mixing because of the foramen of Pineza is there. In addition to it, it is also supposed that right and left systemic aorta carrying arterial and the venous blood respectively join to form dorsal aorta. Sometimes they too join to form the single dorsal aorta. So, again there is a mixing of the blood. Now, let us look at if there is a 3-chambered heart, what type of circulation will be there. Though the circulation is the double circulation, but the blood is mixed blood. The oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is not separate. Let us take the example over there and let us try to explain over there, understand over there. Say for example, these were the body tissues and the blood from the body tissue was coming through the vein into the heart. It was similar as we have studied in the previous case, but in the 3-chambered heart the auricles are totally separated. So, blood is not mixing over there and the ventricle are incompletely separated. So, blood from auricle, the right auricle is coming to the right ventricle, and we have seen that there is a partition in the conus arteriosus also. So, again the oxygenated blood, the deoxygenated blood is going to the lungs for taking the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. Now, because after taking oxygen, it is not going directly to the body tissue as we have seen in previous case in the single circulation, rather it is coming back to the heart in the this left auricle, from the left auricle to the left ventricle, but there is a mixing of blood because the partitioning is not complete over there, and then through the artery into the body tissue. So, circulation is double, that is one circulation is between the heart and the respiratory organ, that is the between the heart and the body tissue, other circulation is between the heart and the lungs for the respiration. So, this is the pulmonary circulation and this one is the systemic circulation. Circulation between the heart and the body tissue is the systemic, and between the heart and the lungs is called the pulmonary circulation. So, what is the route over there? Very simple, that is you go take over there, this is the body, the deoxygenated blood having no oxygen and more carbon dioxide through the sinus venosus going to the right auricle. From the right auricle, deoxygenated blood is going to the ventricle. From the ventricle, there is a mixing of the blood, that some of the blood is going to the body, that is the oxygenated blood is going to the body and the deoxygenated blood is going to the lungs for taking up the oxygen. From the lungs, the oxygenated blood is coming to the left auricle, again going to the ventricle where there is a mixing, because the ventricle is having two types of the blood. It is receiving the blood from the lungs which is oxygenated, it is receiving the blood from the body which is deoxygenated. So, after mixing again the more oxygenated blood is going to the body and the less oxygenated, that means deoxygenated, is going to the lungs, because there is a partial partitioning present over there. Dipnoid and the amphibian heart with only 3 chambers, 2 auricle and 1 ventricle, and reptilian heart with partial 4 chamber permits a partial mixing that I have already explained to you. Thus, I have already explained to you why this is the transitional stage, because it is a transition from 2-chambered heart to the 4-chambered heart. Now, let us look at the final evolution of the heart. The heart in the birds and the mammal has reached to the main 4 chambers. Main 4 chamber means 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. The condition is presenting the birds and mammals. There is no mixing of circulation at all. Oxygenated blood is totally separate and deoxygenated blood is totally separate. In them again no sinus venosus or conus arteriosus is present. It is totally replaced. The conus arteriosus is replaced with the help of the development of the arteries, and the sinus venosus has completely merged itself into the auricles. Now, here you will see that there is no mixing of the blood, as the partition in the ventricle and the auricle is complete, thereby dividing these chambers into left and right, and the left and right auricle as well as the ventricle. So, here how now the main two chambers have now changed themselves into the 4 chambers, that is right left auricle and the ventricle. A fine depression fossa ovalis is present in interauricular septum, which marks the opening of foramen of ovale. Previously, it was a foramen ovale which was completely opened in case of the amphibians, but in case of the lower amphibians and the lung species, but now it has completely partitioned, but depression you can observe within this, which is called the fossa ovalis, which is showing you that it was the same heart which was having the perforation previously in the form of this called the foramen ovale, but now it has developed a wall inside it, thus completely separating, but the as a sign, as a symptom, as an evidence that depression is present over there, which is called fossa ovalis. Now, in them what will happen, that blood, there is a complete partition, so there is no mixing, it is a complete double circulation. So, what is happening over there, that from the body tissues, blood through the veins called the vena cava, having more carbon dioxide and less oxygen, is coming to the right auricle. From the right auricle through a valve, auriculoventricular valve it is called, it is going to the ventricle. From the ventricle, because heart is a muscular, it will contract, it will pump the blood through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs, and then from the lungs, after taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide, it will come back with the help of pulmonary vein into the left auricle. From the left auricle, it will be pushed by the contraction of the left auricle into the left ventricle, and when the left ventricle will push and this auricular ventricle valve will be closed, so the blood will not go back and it will be pushed through these arteries into the body tissue. So, you are having completely separated systemic circulation, completely separated pulmonary circulation, no mixing of blood is present over there. So, this is called the true or the double circulation, the higher level of circulation and the higher level of 4 chambered heart during the course of evolution, which is achieved in case of the birds and in case of the mammals. Thanks.